This is a general reading for the energies right now, for whenever you come across this. If it resonates, it'll resonate very deeply. If it doesn't, don't make it fit. Move on. All right. So we're going to do the Celtic cross, which I use very sparingly, only for big shifts, big changes. All right, so let's look at the situation, the challenge, the root or the past, the recent past, hopes and fears, the near future, attitude, approach, outside influences and people, how other people see you, what you need to know, and the outcome. Okay, try to fit it on screen here. Okay. All right, so let's start with the first card, the main energy of right now, the situation, the present. And we have the Three of Cups in reverse, saturate. And because it came out in reverse, I got this intense feeling of a lot of things being released at once, very quickly. And you know it's for good things to come. In fact, you may see these changes as something positive. It's just like there's been such it's like a 1-2 punch, maybe like a few big changes happening very quickly in the same time frame, that you're kind of feeling overwhelmed and you're kind of feeling kind of lost. At least maybe your soul feels this way, a little bit lost, just because even though you're prepared for this and you understand this means really good things to come, and very soon, sooner rather than later, and like big manifestations, it kind of feels like a gut punch to have so much cleared in such a quick time period. Okay, some clarifications. Justice in reverse. So both of the cards coming out in reverse kind of feels like this just happened for you. So you'll know from these immediate energies if this is going to resonate for you or not. So this just happened, and it kind of it really knocked you off balance. And I feel like you're someone who, because you have so many good things coming, and you can kind of see it starting to manifest in your life, it kind of knocked you off your feet. Like you might be feeling like your legs feel like jelly, or if your whole body is weak, feeling kind of panic attacky, because you've been building a really strong foundation, and that foundation is still strong, but it, you know, just because you're doing well in life doesn't mean when a big change comes, even if it's positive, it's not going to surprise you. It's not going to like make you have a time out for a second, make you pause for a second. And the third card that came up is loss in pleasure. Yeah. And that's like a minor energy, the Five of Cups under this Justice, and the Three of Cups in reverse is the main card. So very big things coming. It feels like a little bit of a loss, but you know it's because there are really, really big things coming. It just like, you know, it still feels like you got the wind knocked out of you, or, you know, someone just pulled the rug underneath your feet. Even though you know this is a good thing, that you're moving on to better things, it just feels unexpected. All right, so what is your challenge here? The Eight of Cups, change directions. Yeah, it literally, the only thing that's weird right now for you is that such big changes happened in such a very short period of time. Like it really just caught you off guard. And so you, in your heart of hearts, and you know like this is all for a good reason, it just really caught you off guard, where to the point where you're just kind of like, what's supposed to happen? Seven of Cups, illusionary success. it definitely just feels like, is this all in my head? But things have to clear out of your life completely in order for new things to come in. And it just kind of, I feel like you're still kind of in the process of like, I'm not sure how things are going to come through and how it's going to play out, but you just know for a fact that it's going to, because things can't stay the same. And you've made sure that you bring new energy into your life, new ideas, new creative hobbies, new way of looking at things. You might have been even purposely trying to do new things in your life, new types of shows, movies, and books. Even when you're going for walks, you might take a different path. When you're going for a drive, you go a different way. What you usually do for vacations, you're doing something different. What you usually do for work, you're doing something different. How you would go about your daily routines, or how you would redecorate a room, or how you would move the furniture. Everything is like you're doing it differently, because you don't make big changes in your life by doing the same things over and over. And even if they're not related specifically to the big move in work, or the big move in location, or the big move in relationships, or the big move in whatever it is in your life, like even if these small changes, new things that you've been doing don't exactly relate to those things, maybe they do, maybe they don't, you can't move forward if you don't change the way you think. You can't make different decisions thinking the same way that you have before. So you're still big changes are happening in your life. Things are clearing out. And for a second, it freaks you out because, when you clear a lot of things out of your life, it's kind of like, holy shit. Like you're kind of in shock for a second, right? It usually means like, oh, you're losing something. You feel like you're losing something, but you know better now because you've been on a spiritual journey for a long time. So you understand that this is what needs to happen in order for beautiful new things to come into your life sooner rather than later. Okay, and it kind of freaks you out because you can't see how it's exactly going to play out, but you know better now from experience, from cycles and cycles and cycles of these things kind of happening, clearing out. It's not a bad thing when things clear out, when you lose a job or you end a relationship that didn't resonate with you in the first place. It's a good thing, and this is a confirmation from spirits. It's a good thing. You didn't know how things were going to play out then, and it turned out better, didn't it? This time, even if it didn't sometimes, this time you've cleared out so much and you worked on yourself so much and all areas that you want to change, that it's going to be positive. So this time there's more confidence in knowing that this is something good. You have experience in it. You have so much experience in it, right? You have wisdom in it now. All right, so let's see. The third card, the root cause. What is behind all of this? Ace of Snow. The Ace of Swords, crystallizing moment, a moment of clarity. So something becomes very, very obvious to you. So I'm getting this was a decision that was outside of you that is influencing you now. So you may have made the decision to make these changes in your life, but because you've been working towards it so long, now the universe is stepping in, your guides are stepping in and helping you with a big change in your environment or your situation that kind of feels like off, because you're like, hey, I've been planning for something like this, but it catches you off guard because you're not the one making the action now. It's the universe backing you up, your guides making the moves. So it might seem kind of weird at first because it seems like it's out of your hands, it's out of your control. This is happening to you, not through you. But in fact, it is happening through you because you wanted this. You just were going to be okay if it didn't. Hopefully that's making sense. Okay, the Hierophant. Wow. Okay, so we got some major arcanas here. The Justice and now the Hierophant. It just feels crazy because the Hierophant representing solidified structures, it really feels like someone pulled the rug right from under you. So it feels like you're out of balance and you really have to catch yourself. Luckily for you, you know how to ground now, eat healthy foods, go for a walk, drink a lot of water, get a grounding mat, or, be able to hug trees and walk barefoot on the ground, whatever you do for grounding. Talk it out with a friend or anyone that can help you out. You got this. You got this. And let's see if we can pull another clarifier. Ace of Wands. Okay, so we got the two aces here, Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands. Yeah, I feel like multiple new things are happening, changes are happening, and this is good. Whatever is being cleared out is going to be replaced with something much, much better. Let's get some confirmation for that. This card. Defense. Okay. And it came out in reverse, and this card kept getting like stuck. So I feel like you're trying not to be on the defense. You're trying to look at the positive. Like this is all happening for the good. This is all happening for a good reason. And I feel like you need to keep forcing yourself to think that way at this time, especially. Like things are working out for your highest and best good, and you know this. You know this from past experience. Like this is what's supposed to happen. You might have had something happen recently in the last day or two where you got a sign that like you're about to get unstuck. You might have not been feeling too stuck lately. At least your mind has changed about that. But something might have happened that was like unpleasant. Maybe one or a few things that happened that was unpleasant, but you're not being defensive about it like you normally would. That's how you know that you're ready for this next cycle. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, and now the Page of Wands, adventure. I think what happened is, do you know what it is? When your mind is so healed, that you feel good about where you are in life, who you are, and what you have around you, even if for years or months you've been kind of fighting the situation around you, you're in such a good place mentally that you're ready to move into a new cycle. But at the same time, you started getting comfortable with what's around you. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm in a better place now. Like where I'm at is not that bad. This job, this location, these people, this whatever, this relationship. Like you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Everything is good now. So, you know what used to bother me doesn't bother me anymore. And that's when this gets pulled out from under you, and everything gets shaken up, and then you move into the new cycle. Just when you're starting to feel good about whatever you were stuck with, quote unquote. And, you're like, I don't need the new adventure. I'm good where I am. And this is your kind of push from the universe that's like, no. You're in a good place to take on something better, a higher frequency, a better vibration, because you're in a better vibration. So even though you feel comfortable now with whatever situation you were kind of in, and you're like, I can be here for a little while, or, I don't mind. This is not as bad as I thought. It's because you're in a better place vibrationally. And so the universe is kind of matching that, but you're kind of like, no, well, I'm comfortable now. Like, or I'm okay. Like, it's not too bad. And Spirit's like, no, you're ready for a new adventure. And that's what you worked hard for. And that's what we're here to, this is how we're going to show up for you and to bring that in. Okay, so let's see. This fourth card here is the recent past, what's been influencing this. The Four of Snow, yeah, the Four of Swords. Accepting silence. So I feel like for a very long time, you've been kind of just doing things quietly behind the scenes, prepping, doing the work, taking small actions here and there. You've been just kind of doing what you felt like was necessary. Strength. You've been kind of just riding out the waves. It's been very difficult. You've been tested a lot recently in the recent past, the last several months. I'm feeling last 5 to 8 months, maybe even longer. But you've been kind of showing a lot of strength, and I feel like you just wanted a break. Like you're like, I've been working so hard. It would be nice to have a little bit of of a break before I start with the new things. But Spirit's like, nope, we're hitting the ground running. Let's go. So it's kind of, you know, I feel like you're kind of in a shock with that too, because you wanted a little bit of a rest, a respite after everything that you've been through recently. Eight of Cups. Okay, the 2 8s here. The 8 of Cups is coming out in reverse. So you're planning to set sail, but you kind of came to terms. You know, part of the strength kind of is accepting any possible outcome. So like, even if you weren't able to leave your current situation, you are mustering up your strength. You are doing the inner work that it was required to be okay to stay where you are, or to stay longer where you are. So that's where a lot of that strength and inner work comes from, is that like you have to strengthen your mind and your resilience, your inner self, your inner universe, to take on the hardships of what you're currently in. And so that's why you can handle it better. But now it's kind of like, I feel like you kind of want a break. And that's why you're kind of like, yeah, I'm strong enough to handle this situation now. And I'm feeling better now because I've worked on this stuff, how to handle this. And so I don't want to leave right away because I want a little bit of a break. But the universe is like, nope. You're not sitting still. We're going to go, go, go. And I feel like you're kind of just a little bit exhausted. And that's what it is. I feel like you even though you were doing a lot of inner work and strengthening your inner universe a lot in the past, you know, in the recent past, it just feels like it's kind of like downtime. Like it was an excuse to kind of take things a little bit easy, you know, not work too hard at work, not to work too hard around the chores and, you know, around the home, or not, you know, have to reach out to all your friends because you're going through a tough time that you needed to take time out to work on what you need to work on internally. And so it's exhausting, even though people can't see the effort externally. It's exhausting. You're exhausted mentally, emotionally, spiritually, which is why you're kind of like, I didn't expect to hit the ground running, which is also a little bit of a shock, and not the positive kind so much, because like you're like, this is good, everything's moving forward, but it's like, man, I've been hit with a blow one after another, you know, like, when am I going to get a break? And Spirit's like, you have this momentum going, like it's good to just like finish it, you know? Let's finish it. Defeat, yeah. The 5 of Cups, like, yeah, I feel like so defeated, and Spirit's like, you've been doing such a good time, like rolling with the punches and like getting things done, that like we don't want you to stop, because you already crossed the finish line. But you know how like even when you're like running, you have to aim for like a little bit past the finish line, right? Otherwise you're gonna collapse right before, kind of thing. It's like you cross the finish line and you're slowing to a stop, but like, you know, you're not gonna just hit a brick wall. You're gonna slow to a stop, and like Spirit's like, yeah, you've already crossed the finish line. You're just like now like catching your breath, slowing down, and realizing what you just did, and kind of in recovery mode now. So like, just finish. Like you're already finished. You just need to kind of finish that realization, that acceptance, and that healing that comes after finishing something, like kind of like a review, or kind of like catching your breath. And they're like, this is just you catching your breath. And like, if you were finishing that finish line, and at the end of the finish line there was like a brick wall, it would just stop you, like you just crash into it, right? And you would just kind of lose all sense of everything, right? You'd be worse off than when you started. But like, if you just kind of do a cool down, like then you're it's here, it's literally right here. You already did the work, you already crossed the finish line. You just need to cool down now, and we're not gonna let you like fall down. We're gonna carry you to like, you know, grab a seat, or grab like I'm getting like one of those like silver blankets that they put on you so you don't cool down too quickly, you know, the recovery phase. And it's like not going to take forever. It's just a very short period of time that you need that little bit of recovery time, you know. Perceptive, the Queen of Cups. The Five of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Okay. And the thing is, you already know this. You already know what this was all for. What gave you the strength to push through is because you know what's at the other end, and you know you're at the finish line. You know, the past 5-8 months, you probably were like, this is the finish line, and you probably knew it too. And you probably see the changes finally manifesting, and so it gave you the motivation and encouragement to keep going, because it is exhausting, extremely exhausting, but it's here, so you just got to keep going. You've finished the finish line. There's people there, you know, holding each of your arms up and like bringing you to a seat, making sure you get some water and that you cool down and you catch your breath, you know. All right, so let's see the fifth space here. What are your hopes and fears? Eight of Snow, Eight of Swords, stuck. Yeah, the energy of stuck kept coming up. Even though we didn't see the word stuck, now we see the word stuck. Okay, so what's the hopes and fears? Queen of Cups. Again. We're not getting hopes. The fear is that I feel like because it felt like the rug was pulled out from under you. I feel like there's a tiny bit of a spiral where it's just kind of like, when you know everything comes into question. It's like, can I even handle what's coming? You know, how am I going to get through this? You know, what does this mean? But I think the main question is, can I handle this? Can I get through this? Do I have the strength? Do I have the wherewithal to kind of do more in my life than I was doing? Because I know you feel it. It's going to be like a lot more than what you were doing, because you were doing mostly healing. Look at all this purple, pink colors, like, and the strength card, like you were mostly healing, and now you're going to be actually doing. And so there's like a little bit of moment where your ego, your fear comes up just for a second, and it happens all the time, no matter how many times you do this and how good at it you are. Like, it's going to come up just for a second, this kind of fear, like, can I actually do this? My big dreams, this, you know, I feel like a lot of like light workers are kind of getting back into the physical world more, because right now, like, the general collective is awakening, and those who have already awakened already have gone through like their initial spiritual journey and ready to kind of assimilate back into more physical reality and to kind of do things more spiritually through physical means, rather than just, you know, inner work and emotional work and spiritual work and ideas and philosophies and reading and research and wisdom and sharing and, you know, listening to stories and sharing your stories and helping, being a service to others. Now it's going to be more in through physical means. Like, there's going to be a balance of your spiritual life and your physical life. You just needed time out to kind of do an intense amount of healing, right? So now you're going to see things manifest in big ways in your physical life. Okay, and so we got the Four of Cups. I feel like we had that before. No, we had the Four of Swords. Okay. Five of Cups here. The Four of Cups, and it came up in hand, which is something that you're keeping close to your chest, something you're not really telling others. Contemplation. I feel like you're contemplating big moves, and you're not really telling others about it. Some people might see you as stuck. Some people might see you as doing a lot of healing, doing a lot of things that you feel guided to do, like the people around you or the people that know you or people that don't even know you. That might just be how they perceive you. But in terms of how you choose to let others perceive you is by not giving them anything. And I think it's because you knew that things were wrapping up and big changes were happening in your life, that you kind of know to keep to yourself. You've probably gotten a lot of guidance recently to kind of keep things to yourself recently. especially big moves, especially people who are not involved directly and have no business knowing what's going on with your life, especially those who might not understand or be kind of able to help you manifest your vision rather than what they want for you, or so I feel like you've been guided a lot recently, probably from other tarot readers or just in your own guidance, that like you should keep things to yourself, unless it's like people, it's your soul family or people you really, really trust, your mentor or really, really close family member that has the best intentions for you. Okay, in the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Cups and now the Eight of Pentacles. And then we have the Strength card. Okay, and that's like work, especially when it comes to what's happening with not just your work and your career, but also what you're working on. So I feel like you might have been guided to not really tell people really what's going on, unless it's someone that's like your best friend and you think like sharing a little bit might help them with their life as well, or just giving people enough or something like that. But you've been definitely guided to kind of keep that kind of thing to yourself for right now, whatever you're working on right now. And I feel like this is kind of another confirmation from Spirit to tell you, follow your own guidance and your own intuition, but this might be a confirmation to continue keeping things to yourself until you have things on lockdown. So be better about that. If you told a few people here and there, that's fine, but it would definitely benefit. It won't ruin your plans, but it will help you better if you just kind of keep things to yourself while you kind of work things out right now. Okay, and I'm going to pull one more card. Okay, so we got the blue and purple tones here. We got the red tones. We got kind of like more, this is a red, green, orange, gray. Okay. So we got the kind of purple and blue here. Kind of like the third eye chakra. And the Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this is kind of like your shadow angel, your dark angel, a part of you that is like looks out for you when you're going through dark times. This is like your protector that it's kind of like a more earthly plane angel, because like this dark protector of yours, that they would do things like in situations to help you out that you might not think of doing for yourself. It's kind of like sometimes it's out of survival needs. So this aspect of yourself knows like the deepest, darkest aspects of yourself, the deepest, darkest experiences that you've had, and also your deepest and darkest, and like, I call it your shade, like that, that is still authentically you, that you might not share that much, obviously, but like you can't extend your light unless you extend your knowledge of the dark, at least. So it doesn't have to, there's a collective darkness, which is like really dark, right? The darkest you can go, but then everyone has their own like level of shade, right? And so you also have like a dark angel, right, that looks out for you in ways that your higher self might not. And so this is, I feel like I'm getting really strong third eye energy, where it's just kind of, you might be in a weird place while you are figuring things out, and you might feel so sad that you might want to tell people more than you would if you weren't in a sad place. You know what I'm saying? So kind of, if you don't have a good system for that yet, I would definitely try to figure that out. If you have your toolkit for when things are awful, you talking to ChatGPT, or talking to certain kinds of friends, or meditating more, or going for more walks, eating more healthier, like whatever what's in your toolbox for when you go through a difficult time, now might be a time to kind of whip that out. It's not that you're going through a difficult time, it's just that your ego might not know the difference, because it's such a huge change, and your ego doesn't like change, or your shadow aspect doesn't like change all the time. So even though it's good for you, sometimes your body, sometimes your spirit can't tell the difference when big shifts happen, if it's like for the good or for the bad. And so it kind of like kicks in this kind of like survival, look out for any depression or anything that might not be good for you, kind of, it kicks that into gear. So like, you can talk to your shadow aspect and kind of make that clear, but it also help to kind of just implement some of those tools for when you are going through a difficult time, just to kind of soothe your body right away, if that makes sense. I don't know. We'll look back into that. Okay, so 6. So the near future, what is coming up for you? The Emperor, nice. The vast network. So you're building a new foundation. You're literally building a new life. Like, you've come out of like what feels like, I don't know, a lifetime more of healing. And it was all for this. It was all to build this kind of life. And you're not going to be doing it alone. So like, that's another reason that your guides, even like passed over loved ones, your ancestors, and a lot of like ascended masters, like just a lot of high frequency energies that you've bumped into here and there on your journey that might have been part of your spirit team at one point, are coming through to kind of give you that last push, because what's coming into your life is also a huge support system, and a lot of opportunities, and opportunities to network with people who think like you, a lot of opportunities for work, a lot of opportunities to move to places that resonate better, a lot of opportunities to make new soul friends and everything like that. So that's why they're kind of really telling you not to sit down now and rest. Like, you've already finished the race. Just finish the cool down. Like, literally, they're all waiting for you, Princess of Swords. And you have it in you. You definitely have it in you. I forget which way this is coming out. Okay. And I'm getting like a lot of the people that you're going to be connecting to are also kind of in a similar energy. This is a huge shift. Wow, I didn't realize. I thought it was going to be something personal to you and to certain people, but it seems like it's a huge shift for maybe like our whole wave, our whole like, soul group. Yeah, because I'm definitely feeling like they're also coming from similar recent experiences or something. Okay, let's expand upon that. What's coming up in the near future? Okay, kind of flipped over in hand, but face down. The Chariot in reverse, in hand, face down. Okay, it just feels like no one wants to admit it, because it's almost like no one wants to jinx it. Like, everyone can feel this forward momentum, but like, oh my goodness. So you, not just you, but like everyone that you're going to be connecting to soon through these new opportunities, almost don't want to acknowledge it, that it's here, and they feel it stronger than they ever have before in their entire life. They can stake their like soul on it, kind of thing, because of all the disappointments in the past. And even though everyone's like so absolutely sure, and they don't just think it, know it, but they believe it absolutely, they're not going to acknowledge it out loud because, you know, of the many times where that didn't come through, you know? So a lot of people who are awakened on our wave are very intuitive, and they can tell when changes are happening. But sometimes we have the tendency to know what's going to be happening, but not the timing, because it's always divine timing, right? So it always felt like, oh, it's going to be this year or this year or this year or this year. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to stop guessing that it's going to be this year, you know? So that's the kind of energy I'm getting. So like, so it's not, so like, just be, I feel like Spirit's giving you a heads up that like, yeah, like these people, they're awesome. These opportunities are awesome, but just be aware that like these big shifts happened, with a lot of folks that you'll be coming across, and not just like people, but like, I mean, entities, like maybe businesses or companies or groups. They felt that big shift and recently, and had to go through all this recently as well. So just be aware of that. Like everyone's kind of like shaky, you know, like kind of nervous and kind of shocked. And anytime you feel kind of shocked, even if it's good things happening, it just kills your nervous system for a second, you know? Okay, yes, scarcity mindset. Yeah, it brings it out in all of us. A huge shift like this, I don't care how strong you are and how long you've meditated, it's going to take a very long time to not dip into that energy for a second, you know, unless you've like been a monk practicing like loving feelings for like a decade straight. Like it's going to be very impossible to not feel that drop, like drop your heart dropping for a second when all of this goes down. Okay. And surrender, the Hanged Man in reverse. So it's finally here. And I think a lot of Lightworkers, I can feel it in the collective, just freaking out for a second, because it's here. And it's like, you know that thing, it's like you're always felt like it's going to happen, and then you kind of accept that, like, maybe not in our lifetime. It's maybe not even in our children or our grandchildren's lifetime. Maybe in 100 years, maybe in 1,000 years. Who knows? But this is going to happen. The collective consciousness is evolving, and we're a part of that. And so is everyone else. And, you know, when is it going to happen? No one knows. We accept divine timing. And the fact that you can feel it and it's very close and it's actually happening, it'd freak anyone out, right? It's hard not to. All right, so number 7, your attitude and approach. Okay, in reverse, we have the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. Interconnectedness. Okay, so we have the vast network and interconnectedness. I feel people are coming to you to connect. These came out in reverse. I feel like it's kind of weird now because things are coming to you. Things are manifesting for you. People coming to you with ideas. People coming to you for for opportunities. And I feel like you're kind of a little bit shocked because you're used to kind of putting the energy and effort and taking large actions or large risks, putting yourself out there. And so now the fact that like everything's coming to you is kind of a little bit of a shock factor, not gonna lie. Yeah, surrender. This came up in hand. Judgment again. Do we have judgment? No, we didn't have judgment. Not again. But there's been a lot of major arcanas. I see like this family here where like everyone's kind of getting a call. This is the call. This is the Lightworker call. You know, we've all heard it for a long time now. Like there's going to be a point in time where you're going to get the call to do this kind of work and meet with the right people and do this thing, you know, with your soul family. And this is it. I think we've been hearing it for so long. A lot of people made other plans. A lot of Lightworkers made other plans. Like, okay, if this isn't going to come together divinely, I'm going to do what I can in this lifetime to carry out my purpose, what I feel like my soul mission is. And then it happens. That's when it happens. When you already decided that this is, I'm going to take steps to help people in this way, because if it's not going to happen magically, I'm going to do it the best way I can. And I bet a lot of you took steps in your soul mission, or the next step in your soul mission, or in the next kind of project aligned with your life's purpose recently. You probably even got guided that, like, you know, you just had to take a few steps in this direction towards your soul mission, or what you feel like your soul mission is, and then something's gonna come in. And so you probably even felt that, like, yeah, I might be doing this work for a little bit, but I probably won't be doing it for long. So, you know, here's your confirmation. Seven of Wands. Defensiveness. But came out in reverse. I feel like you're being a little defensive because too many people and opportunities are coming through. I feel like too many people with opportunities, and I feel like you're kind of being like your discernment antenna is up. It's like, who do I trust? Who do I not trust? I feel like you're getting defensive of a lot of good opportunities coming in. It's like, this can't be real. These can't be all good situations. Like, I probably have to use my discernment to figure out what's good. But no, actually, a lot of these opportunities are all really good for you. You just kind of have to prioritize what's going to be the best for you, which I think is going to be huge. Like, your mind's going to be blown, because that's the huge paradigm shift that comes by going into the 5D more, which is being in the 5D mindset more often, right? More consistently than not. That's the finish line that you finished, right? Going into 5D and finishing that initial spiritual awakening cycle. So now there's a lot of good opportunities and people. You crossed the threshold. Now everything's gravitating towards you, magnetizing to you like crazy. And I feel like your antennas up, like, that's too good to be true. This can't be good. But to be honest, almost all of these opportunities coming your way are really good. It's just kind of like, what's important to you, or what do you want to do first? Wow. And then Apprentice of Gems. Efficiency. The Page of Pentacles. Yeah, exactly. That spirit just gave me a confirmation. Yeah, it's just kind of like, what projects do you want to work on first? Do you want to work on a few small projects, or just one small project to kind of get your footing in this new energy? Or do you want to, hit the ground running with like a big project? Or do you want to take in a few projects at a time? Do you want to prioritize what's important to you? That's kind of what you had to figure out. So, and it's surprising that you're dealing with this from a different angle now. Okay, so the 8th spot here is outside influences and people, how they see you. Page of Wands. Page of Pentacles, again. Page of Pentacles. Boundless curiosity. I'm getting this like with all these people, and then like the network. I feel like, and then but all of you kind of like kind of have that guard up a little bit, because you're just getting used to being in this 5D energy, where it's kind of like, things are, there are pure intentioned people out there like yourself, who are givers and who are lovers and who are have the best intention for all involved, and like to be in service to others, and like to live a lifestyle more closely to yours. And so all of you are, I'm getting like sniffing around each other. It's like, is this for real? Are they legit? Are they gonna screw me over? Is this a legit offer? Like, do they really want to be friends? Can they handle like how deep I can go? Like all this kind of stuff, right? So it's kind of funny, you're all kind of like checking each other out. Like, well, this person, okay. Like, because I feel like you've been so burned so many times with people who couldn't really understand you, or were just kind of on your journey for a short while to kind of help you level up. And so you probably have released a lot of people in your life, and you may have not had a lot of people in your life, a lot of soul family type people, energies in your life. And so it's kind of like everyone's kind of checking each other out, is what I'm getting. Okay, in hand, Ace of Pentacles. So it's in your hand. This offer, these friendships, these opportunities, it's already in your hand. I feel like everyone's just kind of double checking, triple checking, making everything's good, everything checks out, everything's on the up and up, everything's like, has the potential to grow, can be long lasting. Everyone's like checking everything out, but like basically these opportunities are yours, these connections are golden, like it's all that there, it's all set. I feel like a lot of you have had a lot of short-term things in your life, short-term relationships, short-term living situations, short-term work situations, short-term like everything, like maybe car stuff, health stuff, friendships, neighbors. Like it just feels like everything has been changing in your life too much, and you didn't really have any stability and security. You had to find that within yourself, in your spirituality, and now that's finally radiating outwardly in your environment to everything. It had to be within yourself. You had to have the security. You had to have the foundation, and now you're gonna find it in everything around you. And so you're gonna find a lot of long-term things starting for you now, which is exciting. How people might see you. Take up space. The Emperor. Okay, so we got the Emperor again. The Emperor here in your near future. Yeah. So we got it again, the Emperor. And it take up space, and it came out in reverse. Like everyone's like holding space for you. These aren't people who are just like, oh, my what I want is what matters more than what you want. Like I don't think about others. I just want to make money. I just want to, everyone, screws over the environment in order to get ahead. And these companies, like, no, not everyone does. Some people want to think better. Some people want to change these systems. Some people want better communities and better life for ourselves and for others. And I feel like because the Emperor came out in reverse, like the take up space, like these are people who want to change things with you. These are people who are going to give you space and hear your ideas and like build upon them. And do it in a high frequency way, like someone who is way more spiritually mature would do. So I think right off the bat, you kind of like understand this is different, and they understand it's different too. Eight of Swords. There's a period of let's see, Eight of Swords. Like lifting the veil with each other. I feel like all of you are kind of feeling safe for the first time, or the first time in a long while, with other people, other new people, or even if people come back into your life, it's because they've evolved enough to be, in the vicinity of your energy, but like just to kind of be like, it's safe here. We can let our guard down, kind of thing. I feel like there's like a moment of that, I'm getting like for a good part of a year. Maybe not that long, but definitely like 6, 7, 8 months it might take to kind of really feel like, okay, like this, like, even if you feel comfortable and you're having fun and hanging out and like sharing ideas and working on opportunities and it's all going great and smoothly, I feel like the trust factor doesn't really like fully soak in until like 6, 7, 8 months, which makes sense. Okay. That's how long I take to trust people anyway. Okay, so the 9th space, what do you need to know? What does Spirit think that you need to know at this time? Balance, harsh extremes. Okay, this is the Justice card again. It takes a second to adjust to this paradigm shift, into this new frequency you're entering, this new 5D energy. It takes a second. It's happening faster than you think, but it also takes a second. Like, new people, gotta trust, like new energies, how you interact with everything, how you interact with manifestations and opportunities and people and this new version of yourself and new goals. Like it takes a second to settle in, okay? Like you might be in that energy, but even to trust that energy, like it takes a second to kind of feel it out. You're kind of a child or a teenager in this 5D energy. It takes a second to kind of adjust to that way of thinking and being again. Seven of Wands, Valor. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands came up a lot. It feels like you're fight or, you're kind of like fight or flight, kind of like wanting to make sure that you are doing the right thing for yourself. And I'm getting from Spirit, like, don't worry, it's just initially, like, for the first like 3 or 6 months, where you're kind of like, am I doing the right thing? Like, does this make sense? Is it going to take too much energy? Am I going to get enough results? Or is it going to fill my cup up? Am I going to get enough back for how much I put in? Can I trust this? Do I want to do this? Like, I've been wanting this for so long. Am I sure this is what I actually want when it comes around? All these kind of things. It's going to take like 3 or 6 months when these things come in, every opportunity to kind of really like let it sink in. And it's like like so many big things are happening. So many, like, in this area of life, in this area of life, in this area of life, like each one takes like 3 or 6 months in its own category to kind of feel like maybe it's overlapping, but like to kind of come into trust with all these like big new opportunities coming your way. Okay, so what Spirit want you to know, this popped up right away. It kind of popped up in the past energy, so it has to do something with your past. Play. Okay. And it's like the Knight of Cups. So definitely there's going to be room to play. And this is why I kept saying for the longest time, Lightworkers, my wave, who are entering the 5D into this new energy, the cycle after your initial spiritual awakening, which probably was a lot of years, you're entering the cycle where you are going to be playing, because a lot of us, we haven't been in that 5D energy since we were kids. When you're using your imagination all the time and you feel, you had a feeling of being free, that you don't have to worry about any constraints about survival. For a lot of us, not everyone, but so it's been a while since we've been in this 5D energy, and it's going to take us a second to not relate to it in the way that we did when we were teenagers, or preteens, or kids, specifically kids. And so when we enter 5D, a lot of us are kind of in this like childlike way of interacting with it, which isn't bad. It's a way to kind of get used to being in 5D energy more. So you're going to be using your imagination more, and you're going to be using your creative abilities a lot more. So you probably in the recent past, like just recently in the past month or two, or in the recent past, have started taking on a lot of new hobbies. And I know in the past, you might have taken on a lot of quiet hobbies because you had a lot of healing to do, and you just kind of needed your mind to rest at times. So you might have taken on more quiet hobbies like drawing or painting, or something that's like, puts your mind at ease. For some people it could be like music, or knitting, or working on wood chopping, or designing, or playing video games, or something that's like easygoing, that can like shut your mind off a little bit. But now, as you're entering this more social period of time, because you're assimilating to this physical realm, but in the 5D way, with 5D people and 5D opportunities now, you're probably taking on a little bit more louder, more interactive and social hobbies, and different hobbies than you did in the past, or going back to some past hobbies that you haven't done for a while, that were a little bit more active, a little bit more social, a little bit more different than what you're used to doing, something you've always wanted to do, and a little bit more louder, like musical, or more outdoors, or something like that. So that is what Lightworkers are kind of going into. It's just more hobbies like that. And so those new hobbies that you started recently, they're going to come up, or kind of let you express creativity in different ways. They're going to come up, and that's important to continue, because as we said in the beginning, you can't make new changes in your life, big bold changes that are positive, without thinking differently than the way that you have. And you've been working so hard to work on your mental health, and to heal all the things, and let go of everything that doesn't resonate, to bringing things that do resonate, to figure out in order to do that, you had to figure out who you are and what you want to be and what your purpose was and the kind of person you want to be, the kind of life you want to lead. And after doing all that kind of work and doing ancestral karma and the bloodline karma, and then, you know, connecting to the energies of the collective and connecting to the energies of where you grew up and where you've lived and all those places and all the things that all the people in your life that you come across, all that stuff done, it's time to play. And it's definitely going to help. And that's why connecting with your soul family is going to be so important. Because that's how you're going to be able to interact with each other and trust with each other and build strong bonds, long-term bonds for a lot of them. Just to kind of be in that feeling of trust. And this is also a time where you're going to be making a lot of building your network, the Lightworker network, where you're going to be connecting with a lot of people from all across the world, all over the place, all over your country, all over the world. So there are some connections that you're going to have long term that are going to be more around you physically, friends that you see more often, and then some friends that you see that you're going to be connecting online with, and then also maybe visiting here and there in the future. So it just kind of depends on you. 10 of Pentacles, wow. And yeah, we see a lot of boats here, but we also see a lot of things coming together. So it's going to be really fun because everything's coming together, but it's not just you thinking of how you want to live life. You're getting ideas from friends like, oh, I love that new hobby that you have. I'm going to start to do that. Or like, I love what you did with your home. I like how you handled this area. I'm going to copy that. You know, building off of each other with this new life and this new world could look like, and all the possibilities. It's a fun time. And a lot of you are also going to meet a lot of people that you're interested in romantically if you're not already linked up. So that's going to be a really fun time, meeting a lot of soulmates, meeting a lot of soul family, meeting a lot of people and figuring that things out, maybe even a divine counterpart. But like, you know, kind of figuring out different kind of work that you can do. Maybe you want to hop around, maybe there's something that really resonates. And expanding your network in a big, big, big way. It starts with having fun, just kind of talking about these things with people, meeting up in groups. It's kind of like, I'm getting like a kind of do-over energy. So like when you move to a new area, you're hoping to like, you know, get good neighbors or get good friends. Or if you're going to college, you want to find your groups. You want to find the people that you're, you know, like, or wherever, going to school, going to a new workplace. Like you just want to find your people, you know, and you find the things that you're interested in. And I feel like this is kind of a do-over. If I feel like for a lot of light workers, you've been, you know, black sheep, but doesn't mean that you haven't had great experiences with a lot of people. In fact, you probably had a lot of group of friends, a lot of different types of friends throughout your years, because that's just who you are. You attract a lot of people, just a lot of different people from different walks of life, because you just have that light where people feel comfortable around you. They feel like you're not judging them, and they feel like they can tell you anything. So now you're getting this energy of people that are the same way as you, and so it's a different vibe. You probably met people like that once in a while around here at events and stuff like that, but like this is on a whole different level, because they're connecting you on a soul level. So you might have met some spiritual people here and there, but have you met people who can meet you on a soul level? Maybe once in a while here and there through relationships and friendships, but this is on a whole different level. So it's just kind of like a fun like party phase for light workers is what I'm getting. All right, so we got the last card here. Card 10, which is the outcome. Kind of started with like feeling stuck or having the rug pulled out under you, or feels like it because so many things are changing fast. Things are exiting as new things move forward. And we get the Tower, and it came out in reverse. And the Tower in reverse for me is a beautiful, miraculous, divinely planned event that you could have not seen coming or planned for yourself. And it's positive. When it's in reverse, for me as a reader, it's a positive, divine, miraculous event that you couldn't have planned. Wow. So good things are coming, and you just can't see it completely right now. And we know that, but you trust yourself, and you know you have a good foundation. You love your life, and you so much so that you're willing to kind of stay where you are now, because you're like, I'm in such a good place that everything's going well. Let's just stay here for a little bit. Let's rest. And Spirit's like, no. Your guides are like, no. Your ancestors are like, no. Let's go. You're almost like you're already across the finish line. Like, just catch your breath. Like, just walk over here. Just sit down. Just get, just recover for a second. Like, you're almost done. Just finish that recovery phase, and you, my friend, are entering a whole new life. And all this energy is going to fill your cup up so much that you're going to have the energy to do new things. Because, like, right now, immediately, with this big thing just happening, or big things happening, clearing out from your life or changing in your life, might feel like a shock to your system. But you can handle it. And you feel like you might not have the energy for whatever's to come and whatever you have planned and anything. No, you're going to get the energy. You're going to be so pumped. You're going to have more energy than you ever had in your life, no matter what age you are. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Swords. Princess of Swords, and we have the Justice card here. The Queen of Cups. And another Queen somewhere. Queen of Swords here in the recent past. So you know that everything that's coming is going to be so positive, and some things that you can't even know is coming yet, but it's so positive, it's going to knock your socks off. I'm not even kidding. You're going to be so, like, you think this was a shock? The shock that's coming, that's going to be so positive and miraculous, is 10 times this. Whatever you're feeling with the shock of things leaving, 10 times that is a positive shock and things coming in to replace it. You're going to be like, oh yeah, this is what I knew something big and positive was coming. Now it's here. 5 of Wands in reverse. Competition. There is no competition. It's collaboration. Whoa. This card wanted to pop up with it. Queen of Wands. Yeah. It's kind of like the Ace and the Ace of Swords and Wands here, which is like, what's the root of this? New things are coming, and you know it. You've taken action in it. It just shocks you that it's actually happening, but you've known it was coming, and you were meant for this. You're meant to show your light. You're meant to be out there. You're meant to share your gifts and talents, and with the right people, there's nothing you can't do. You're gonna have an unbelievable confidence with the support of your soul family beside you. You know. Okay, last card here. Let's wrap up the reading. Knight of Pentacles, and it came up in hand. So like the Knight of Cups here. Again, in reverse. I feel like, with the 10 of Pentacles here, I feel like something comes in to just kind of give you like an opportunity, like just give you, like they just hand you a job and just hand you money and just hand you the right place or a relationship or opportunity. Just like, here you go. I think it shocks. I think it's that shocking to you that they just come to you. I think you're that shocked. It's like, this is just coming to me now. Like, that's crazy. Things are just coming to you. Wow. If I can get a time frame for that. I know timing not supposed to matter. I'm just gonna get a time frame for that. Okay. 9 months from now. Yes, I was kind of saying, like, yeah, towards end of this year, as if you're watching this when I post this. That's kind of crazy. How long is the shock of this and the kind of don't tell people what you're planning? How long is the shock of this going to last? I'm recording this on the 1st of May. So the shock is behind you. I feel like you might have been doing the work, expecting these changes to come yesterday, a week ago, a month ago. So the shock is done. No more shock. And then, let's see. Keeping things to yourself. How long should you be keeping things to yourself? By the end of the day. So I feel like things are happening so quickly that you might even start giving people like a heads up that like you might be kind of, making some big changes soon, or let me pull a clarifier. this one fell on my lap. Yeah. So yeah, Hermit. So I feel like you should keep it to yourself. I feel like the reason that you were kind of telling other people is because you weren't seeing things changing. You weren't seeing opportunities really coming in. You were just seeing a lot of things getting released. But I'm getting by the end of the day or the end of tomorrow, things are going to start coming into your life where you're going to be like, okay, now it's time to actually not tell anyone. Because I feel like you're at some points you're kind of feeling sad or kind of weak or like kind of like, you know, kind of let things slip. But now with things finally coming in, the physical things coming in rather than being released, actual concrete things and concrete good options, good opportunities, you're kind of like, okay, now it's the time to actually not tell people. So you're going to feel good about that because now you can see things changing. Like you've changed from shitty things happening and you not wanting to tell people to good things happening. And that's going to be easier to not tell people, you know, or not tell the wrong people. Okay. And then in terms of, like people coming in, when is that happening? 3 months from now, and they kind of fell to my heart chakra space. So yeah, you can see that in like a few months, big opportunities are coming in by the end of today or the end of tomorrow. The shock and awe is gone. You won't be feeling that shock and the weird kind of like unbalanced, shaky feeling for long. Within 3 months, you're going to start seeing the right people coming in and the right opportunities. 9 months from now, you can probably see that you're getting another opportunity and another positive situation coming through. And what about this play energy of kind of being around people? It's time to let go. So I'm getting that, like, yeah, it's obviously between the 3 to 9 months. But I feel like at that point, you're going to be feeling like it's time to let go of old things. Like you're going to feel better about leaving old things because you have people who are showing you new ideas, new things in your life, new opportunities that you will want to go towards. So it's going to be easier to kick out anything else in your life that's like, it's time to go, you know, kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to put the last 2 cards to see if Spirit has any advice for you. Daughter. The answer to your question involves your daughter. So I do for some, like children might be involved or having children. Pull another card. And debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from your life. So I also feel like anything that you've done to help your family and friends in your recent past or your past, that's paid off. So karmic debt with your immediate family or your biological family or the family that you were raised with, or you know, all the friends and people who are like family to you, that debt is paid. So all your karmic debt with anyone in your past is paid. So you're gonna feel that. And then I feel like with the daughter is like new people coming in. So I definitely feel this energy of if you're in the child rearing age, you're definitely going to have children. You know, a lot of light workers are coming together to have more crystal children, indigo children, you know, in their lifetimes. And a lot of people are also getting ready to kind of help others in a different way. And I'm also getting it. Okay. To heal your inner child. That's why not every light worker who has just recently entered 5D are going to be very playful and kind of have, it's gonna be so innocent. That's why it's so funny. Like I know you might be a lot of you might be meeting like soulmates and potential divine counterparts at this time. In fact, when you first move into 5D, that's usually the first folks that you meet is like your divine counterpart and or soul family and like long-term soul friends. But there's so much innocence and purity that all of you are so just want to be friends and just want to shoot the shit and just kind of like have fun and stuff like that. So it's like most people aren't going to think about that for a while because there's so much blissful, pure innocence coming out in this joy. I can't even describe it so much. It's so much fun that you might not even think about it for, you know, a little bit, you know, past 9 months from then, because it's just like, it's all so innocent and like everyone's kind of having this really good intention, pure vision for the future. It's like really, really heartwarming. It's like you're not gonna get this time in life again, so enjoy it. It's kind of like going into college and being around people who are just the same as you, and just have a good outlook in life, and everything's like, it's kind of pure like that. But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be getting ready to bring in the next generation, and or help the collective in their awakening process. It's going to be like taking on mentor-mentee relationships, teacher student energies and stuff, therapists, new alternative medicine, alternative therapies, and just new systems, new way to plan communities and society, and new education systems, and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be, it starts off with inner child linking up to other soul connection. It's going to be so pure-hearted and so pure joy. It's going to be a lot of fun for Lightworkers, that you're not going to be thinking about anything like physical related for a minute, at least for most. And then you're going to notice that all your karmic debt is paid off with anyone in your past that's not coming with you, or not yet, into this energy, and that you're going to be looking out for new indigo children coming in and how to help them, and then also a little bit of the awakening people, but they have their own thing going on. And then last card, there's a lot of like nautical themed cards here, so I want to do something with the sea. Breakthrough to new dimensions. Hey, what a way to round out this reading. A new endeavor is on the horizon. Innovative energy wants to burst forth in your consciousness. That is absolutely what is happening here. We're breaking through into a new dimension. And you're being called to new horizons, new projects, new work, and it's going to be innovative. You want to change the way things are. You have the vision for it. You have people to back you up, and it's going to be a huge paradigm shift. You're going to get used to kind of living in this new energy where things come to you. It's not magical. It's not made up. This is real, and if you haven't meditated for a while, this is your sign to do it, because it's time to connect to who you really are, who you truly are, and your vision that you've been holding for a long time that's coming true. It's magical, it's mystical, it's surreal, it's godly, it's heavenly, it's beyond what most people can hold, but you can. It's time to get used to that, because that's the energy that we're bringing in now, okay? I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I love a like or comment. I don't really care about the numbers. I just like to connect with people who are like-minded, to know that we're all out there feeling this, and gonna get through this together and come together. It's our time. All right, I wish you much love and light.